Okie dokie. What's going on, y'all? We have just received our new dispatch. And so we're basically getting ready to get out of Dodge here. Get out of whatever this place is called. Woodbridge something or another. Woodbridge Township, New Jersey. We just had a nice, fun-filled, eventful kind of morning into the afternoon here. Playing out in the duck or goose poop field next to us here. But it is time to depart.
In 1 mile, keep left toward through traffic.
Okay. Yes, we had a grand time here. Oh, let's see here. So, yeah, the old, the pup here, he is pooped. He's a pooped pup. Officially. Which is outstanding. It should make for a nice, calm, relaxing drive for me, for the most part. Well, I hope. Never speak too soon, though.
In 3/4 of a mile, keep left toward through traffic.
Keep left towards through traffic. Yes, ma'am.
Be in the second lane from the left.
Oh boy, so let's go ahead and check in here real quick. We got Thursday, January 14th, 2021, current local time of 3:11 in the PM.
In 3 1/4 miles, take exit 10 on the right to I-287 North.
Got a relatively warm temperature of 54 degrees as we cruise at an altitude of 100 feet, give or take. So, yeah, the deal is we are leaving the state of New Jersey, heading back over to Pennsylvania, specifically Hazelton, Pennsylvania. We got about 145 miles to get there, and we'll be picking up an Amazon trailer. Once we get there, and basically hooking it up, and then going and finding a place to park for the night. And then we'll be getting underway tomorrow morning pretty early and heading out to Oklahoma. And we'll be heading specifically, well, to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. So there you go.
1 1/4 miles, take exit 10 on the right to I-287 North.
And that will be about a 1,400 mile long haul. I mean, it's kind of a short haul, but it's a 2-day haul, so technically it's a long haul. Oh, it looks like I need to get over here.
Take exit 10 on the right to I-287 North. To I-287
Oh,
North.
yeah, you want me to get in the left lane, huh? Just kind of popped that one on me right there.
Left to I-287 North, then keep left.
Okie dokie.
Left to I-287 North, then keep right. Be in the right lane.
Man, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I am freaking turned around right now. That was just like one big giant double clover leaf that charged us. That taxed us to take it.
On I-287.
Okay. You ever notice how you know, these chemtrails that they spray all this garbage up in the sky? Well, okay, you know what? We'll go ahead and just call it contrails for those of you or the anti-conspiracy theorists, these contrails. Right, they're contrails, all right. But you know, you always see them crisscrossing the skies, right? Yeah, I've been seeing them for years, right? Yeah, it's just condensation from the engines, I'm sure. That's why it just lingers up there and creates like a smog-colored cloud. But it's really interesting. You watch these things, you know, they just come out of nowhere. It'll be a nice clear blue sky one moment, and then like 20 minutes later, there'll just be all these crisscrosses all across the sky, right? From these frickin' jets.
Be in any of the 3 left lanes.
And but so you ever notice how they always just tend to be right where the sun is, where like wherever you go, they're just covering the sun. It's really something. It's just I don't know. It's yeah. What can you do? Anybody who actually has investigated this stuff quickly gets deemed a conspiracy theorist or a racist. You know. Oh, you know, these chemtrails up in the sky are probably not good for us, you know. Are you racist? It's like, I'm not even talking about people. I'm talking about chemtrails. Yeah, you're a racist. Banish him. Right? That's pretty much the way they do it. But, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's just like, wherever the sun is, that's where the chemtrails always are. I mean, the contrails always are. Just covering the sun. Like this crazy, like, luminous orange brown filth that they just dump up in there, right? And yeah, I guess people are still oblivious to. I don't know if people are really paying attention or not yet. I kind of don't think so. Yeah, very interesting, because I mean, like, look over here. It's nice. It's like, it's not clear, right? But it's, you know, there's not that big smog-colored cloud covering the sun right here, right? Because the sun's not in the frame. But sure enough, it's over to the left. It always seems to be there. Pretty interesting. So anyhow, we're gonna keep this one a little bit short. I'll probably bring it back in here when the moon should arise, and we'll see you in a bit. So, see ya. Okay, see what I'm saying? It's all clear over here. Right? Clear up there, clear over there. Not over there. It's kind of interesting. Pretty drive though. I mean, you know, pretty as it can be. Kind of being over here kind of makes me feel like
1.5 miles. Keep left
watching an
to
episode of
I-287
Sopranos.
north.
Boom, 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 chum, boom, 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 chum. Woke up this morning, got yourself a gun, changed about it. I don't even know the words. I'm not even gonna try. Just grab a cigar, friggin' light up a cigar and hang your arm out the window. You're freaking on your way to a bomb meeting. But if you look good, yeah, baby, you feeling fine. Feeling backside with no blue in your eyes, baby. Woke up this morning, got yourself a gun.
Be in any of the
65. Welcome back, New Jersey.
In 2.5 miles,
So
take
today
exit
we're going to be
21B
talking
on
about
the left
what's
to
going on
I-78
with
West.
climate change. What do they call it? Climate change. Climate change summit. Yes, what's going on over there with George Soros and Hillary Clinton? I'm just kind of making shit up as I go, so bear with me here. Looks like it's gonna be a new dawn in America. All right. 565. Pretty soon the troops are going to be knocking on your door, checking your temperature, escorting you the way over to the FEMA camps where you can be quarantined indefinitely on orders of Kamala Harris, the new president, the new woman president we've all been wanting and pushing for. Yes, she was a
1.25
prosecutor, but
miles, take exit
hundreds of thousands of
21B
people
on
in
the
prison
left
for
to
basically
I-78
doing no
West.
wrong to anybody out there in California. But I'm sure that she'll be a great addition to the executive branch of the government here in the United States of America. United States of Americana. I'm telling you, when you want to talk about biblical, biblically speaking. So here's the thing. So she's the Antichrist, right? So she's the one who is to play the role of the
In
Antichrist.
either of the two left lanes, then take the exit to I-78 West.
And so how do I know that? Well, it's like this. I mean, if you read it, and it's like all this stuff, and they're talking about the final trumpet, right? So it's funny. I mean, it's right there, right? The final trumpet, right? There's another interpretation that talks about the last president, right? To say that the last president or the final trumpet, who is Trump, of the free, America, the free world, right? And that would initiate the incoming of the Antichrist itself, right? So when you talk about what is Christ, who is Christ, right? Christ was, love, right? The light and the life and the way, I guess. So the opposite of Christ, right? Because basically what anti means is not necessarily evil or anything. It just means it means the same but different. It's to say that it's the same but different, basically, right? And not even necessarily opposing.
Continue on I-78.
Or adversarial in nature. But so it's like this, the difference between Jesus and Satan was, or Jesus and the Antichrist, the Christ and the Antichrist, was basically you got God as the judge, right? The final judge of everything. And then you have Christ, and so you're looking at like a courtroom setting, right? That's why Satan is known as an adversary, because an adversary or adversarial is a term of court. It's a term used, it's a legal term used in courtrooms. And so Satan was always the adversary. However, he's always the adversary, been the adversary to corruption, actually, to corruption of truth. That's what his thing is. And so he was like a prosecutor, right? And Jesus is the public defender, right? So Satan's always telling God, you need to punish him and throw him in hell because he did this wrong. You know, whoever the defendant is, right? Satan's always saying, you got to punish this guy because he sinned. Put him in hell where I'll reign. Well, I'll watch over him. You know, right? So he was always against corruption of truth, right? So he wants people in hell. He wants people in prison. And Jesus is the public defender. He's the public defender. He's the one trying to defend mankind for sinning because it's just kind of in their nature to do it. It's not their fault. They just don't know any better, right? So he's always trying to defend man, right? Like to God, who's the judge, right? So it's a courtroom setting, basically, is what we're talking about. So that's why Kamala Harris is the Antichrist, is because she's a prosecutor. That's what her record is. She was a prosecutor, right? The only problem is I guarantee you she is anything but uncorrupt, right? She's absolutely corrupt, so she is absolute evil. So there you go. And the other part of that prophecy was that it was to say that the Antichrist would come to power. Oh, and here's the other thing. So Jesus was always considered to be a male, a man, right? Masculine in nature, but kind of far from it. Whenever you see pictures of him, they don't present him as very masculine at all. But and so therefore the Antichrist would absolutely be a female. Would be a female, right? So that's the other thing. So and it's also said that in the prophecies that the Antichrist would come into power by that of not his own hand. To say that it would, we'll say he for lack, because that's kind of what everybody believes it's going to be as a man. That he would come into power not through his own means, not by his own hand. Actually, the Antichrist would come into power indirectly, right? That's exactly what's gonna happen, because that's how Biden is not gonna last him. There's no way. The guy's he's too old for what, not to mention, people are gonna figure it out pretty quick what a liar he is, right? And he's just up there just he's gonna be non-compos mentis soon. And actually there's the 25th Amendment is something that is to be used by a vice president on a standing president, a sitting president, when their mental capabilities are compromised, when they're not of sound mind anymore, right? It's to say that if a president comes in of sound mind during the term of his presidency, stuff begins to show symptoms of not being mentally competent, the vice president can use the 25th Amendment and get him out, right? Well, look at Biden. He's absolutely mentally challenged. He's absolutely out of his mind, right? And that's the other part of that prophecy, is to say that the one before the Antichrist, who's not the true Antichrist, would have a head injury of some sort, right? It would be to say that it's always thought that he would have a head injury, like blunt force trauma kind of injury, something physical, right? And then that he would miraculously come back or something like that, right? But the other way that you can interpret it is a mental health issue, something where he goes out of his mind. That's the other part. Those are the words, to go out of your mind, right? Which would mean most people interpret as going crazy or being non-competent, incompetent, right? Cognitively challenged, right? That's going out of your mind, right? So that's the other, that he would suffer a head wound of some sort. And then the Antichrist would assume power. And so there you go. The vice president coming into power, not of his own hand, by using the 25th Amendment, right? Because she wasn't elected president, right? Well, I mean, neither was Biden. I mean, it's all a fraud, but there you go. You get what I'm saying. So, here we go. It's gonna, it's silly. I know, it's silly. You can call me the conspiracy theorist if you want, but really, the Bible is the main conspiracy theorist there is out there. It's full of conspiracies, right? Every prophecy in there talks about a conspiracy, right? So, and don't look at me. I'm not making this stuff up. It's already there. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. It's funny. It's kind of goofy. I don't know. You just kind of gotta not let it get inside of you as much as possible, and just kind of laugh it all off. Because really, what else can you do? It's nothing necessarily to fear. That's just the timeline. It's just the story playing out, right? It's a story, right? It's like a movie, except it's real, like, or whatever, right? So it's just a movie. Man, that's the only thing you can, interpret it as. If without freaking going bad at yourself, right? Funny stuff. Yep. So anyhow, there we go. It's a little biblical lesson for you, I guess, from the probably least biblical person there is out there, which is probably why I'm able to look through and read between the lines, or read between the lies. A little bit easier, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe I'm non-compos mentis. Maybe I'm cognitively challenged. You never know. But who's going to say that, right? Who's going to be the judge of that? Like who? I wonder who has the power who has the authority to judge whether I'm mentally challenged or the guy accusing me of being mentally challenged is mentally challenged. What's the yardstick? I don't know. The state? Yeah, right. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up before I get too deep here. So, we'll see you in a bit. Take care.